All right, friend, you ready?
Yes.
Okay. What you want to go by tonight?
Ashayla Anu.
Ashayla Anu. All right, cool. Put your right hand up and your left hand on your word, wherever you decide your word is. All right, hold it just like that. Do you solemnly agree we have your permission to post this across all of our social media platforms?
Yes.
Is there anything, and I do mean anything, that's off limits you don't want us to ask you about?
No.
If we do ask you something that's off limits, do you understand? You can say no, or I want to pass.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's get it.
Okay, literally is no pressure. I'm your host, Bangem Bugg.
It's your girl, Just K for real.
And we got a special guest here to introduce herself. So tell us where you're originally from.
So I'm originally from Philadelphia. I was born in Philly and raised in Atlanta. My mom was a track star, so she moved down to Atlanta to go to college and pursue her track career, and she pretty much stayed here.
What's her best record?
I don't know. She is, I don't know. I'm not a track person. She pushed me to be, you need to be in track. This is what you're supposed to do. I was like, no, Mom, that's not what I'm supposed to do. I tried it, but it just wasn't for me. I was naturally good. It just wasn't for me, though.
Why? The discipline?
Okay, so one time I got in trouble when I was in high school with my coach, and I was a triple jumper. And he had me jump up like 100 flight of steps with a 20-pound vest on. I was like, it wasn't even my fault. I got in trouble. But yeah, that's when I quit track. When I do that over and over again, I was like, I'm done with this. It's too much for me.
So you run from hard work.
No, I just. Well, then I did. I was rebellious then. When I was in high school, I was rebellious. But now I got out that stage.
So what have you really done difficult in your life so far that you ain't run from?
Taking care of my child by myself.
By choice?
By choice. Well, I mean, you always got a choice, so yeah, by choice. I could be like, no, fuck this child, I ain't doing that. But not by myself. And I did dance, so doing certain tours, I used to dance background. I used to be in competition dance, that was pretty difficult. Running my business and being a mom, I'm not gonna say single mom, being a mom is very challenging.
Why won't you say
performing is also very challenging too. Speaking was very challenging for me.
You stutter?
I used to stutter really, like, when I was younger, I used to stutter so bad, like, to the point I had to tap like this to get my words out. But, like, recently, I converted to Christianity. I grew up in Christianity, and, like, one night, it was like months ago, like 3 months ago, it was like 5 months ago, I'll say, Moses came to me in a dream. I didn't know too much about the story of Moses, right? But recently, I learned that Moses, he stuttered really bad. And he was like, I really don't want to, like, God, he was talking to guys like, God, I'm not the person to come before and lead these people. I'm not a good speaker. And God's like, I got you, you know? So he overcame that. He overcame his shyness or his not being confident to speak with, you know, his purpose.
What Moses say to you in your dream?
He was just there. I don't remember, but I remember his presence. I remember Moses being there. I remember dreaming.
That's pretty cool. That's different.
Yeah.
Let me go off course for a minute. So, do girls stutter during sex, or like it just leaves?
I don't know nothing about that. I don't know nothing about that.
You don't know nothing about sex?
I don't know nothing about it. That's not, yeah, no.
No.
I don't know nothing about that.
You never stuttered during sex?
I don't know nothing about that.
Okay, it just popped in my mind.
That was a pretty good question.
Okay,
I wanted to know, like, what made you say I'm not gonna say single mother, I'm gonna say mother.
Because I'm not single.
Mm.
And I got support around me. From my family, my friends, from the Most High. So I'm not lonely. I got people all around me.
That's understandable.
okay, I guess tell me your relationship like with your parents.
So, my father, he was pretty much in and out of my life because of substance abuse. He abused substances. I'm not sure what he abused, but, you know, as he got older, he started coping emotionally because of what he was, what he experienced as a child, you know what I'm saying, and whatever he went through. So, you know, he was a great person. My folks always tell me he was a stand-up guy. It's just something, it's like something about being up north, like, it's really rough being in Philly, you know, in that environment. It's so available. Like, the bad life, choosing the wrong is so easy up there. You know, the murder rate in Philly is crazy. It's like, I would say number one or number two in the country. That's how many folks die, you know. But my father, I always seen him in a good perspective no matter what he did. You know, I seen the good from when I was little. And it just stuck with me. My mother, we had a rocky relationship when I was like in middle school, high school. I always loved my mom. You know, she's a wonderful person. But a lot of that had to do with like me, you know. Rebellion was a big thing, being stubborn, not listening to my parents. I would say like every child, listen to your parents. And they really got, I'm not gonna say everybody parents, but they really got your best intention at heart. But you gotta listen to them and take the good and the bad. Just don't even worry about that. Just focus on the good that they tell you when they try to warn you about certain things or people or situations. My stepfather, it was a growing situation because I was like, you're not my dad. But he was always like there since I was 2. He was a great support system. He's a businessman. So I really appreciate my parents now more than ever. So that's my relationship.
Okay. Yeah. So, with the child thing, if you felt like being a single mother was hard, like, so you get married now, or like the guy you with, like, is he serious, or you just?
I'm not with nobody right now. I'm with God right now. I gotta get my relationship with God first before I like even think about anybody else. Honestly, I was like 2 weeks ago, I was like, God, I was in the closet, I was praying in the morning. I was like, God, I just send me a husband, God. Just send me a husband. I opened my Bible and it turned to a scripture, and the scripture said, God is your husband. I said, okay, God. Well, you know, it's done with. All right. I gotta focus on you. I gotta stop asking for everything outside of me and really focus on what's inside of, like, this connection with the source. Because if this connection with the source is stagnant or crooked or not aligned, nothing in my life will be aligned. I won't be aligned mentally. I won't be aligned in my heart. I have to get that straight first. And then my kingdom partner will come. He will. I have to have faith in that and stop trying to search or trying to look a certain way, or I gotta get myself right. So that's the main thing before I even focus on a husband or a boyfriend. I'm not even for boyfriends, honestly, because we're not gonna have sex until we get married. That's just period. I'm done with the games. I'm done with the playing. You know, so.
So you think a guy gonna go for that when you got 2 kids?
There's plenty of guys that go for that. When I got 5 kids.
So you met
and I got evidence. My aunt.
Well,
she had 4 children, and she got married. And they're both Christians.
Oh,
and they waited.
Oh, they waited.
And they waited.
So is he?
And it's a wave of young men and middle-aged men who are really serious about having a relationship with God and really waiting till they get married, or really waiting to have sex with their wife. And it's like a influx of men. That's what we need. We need strong men. Like, there's a lot of weak men out here. That's why the society is weak.
Explain weak to me. What's a weak man?
Weak is being about your flesh. About the worldly things, not in tune with your spirit. That's weak.
I'm saying, okay, at a point in your life, you was weak to flesh, right?
I was weak, and I'm still strengthening myself.
So you feel like you should judge men who are?
No, that's not judging.
You call them weak, right?
It's a fact. Like, I mean, It's
I'm
not
not
necessarily saying
saying
you bad for being weak or for being susceptible to the flesh. That's hard. Like that's really the journey. It's like, yeah, you just got a choice. I either want this or I want this. And so the flesh versus the spirit basically is the choice.
I'm saying most people ain't even on it. I feel like if a man want to do that, he could, but it's like it's not even a choice that he want to do. You get what I'm saying?
Because he probably hasn't even been opened up to that. Like it takes for something to happen, in my opinion, for you to get to the point where it's like, oh no, like this is what I actually need to be doing. So to say that it's weak doesn't necessarily mean that it's a negative connotation, but it is weakness because it takes strength to refuse your flesh. It really does, and to be like basically more focused on your spiritual than your flesh.
And that's for man and woman.
Yeah.
I can say I was weak. I was very weak. And that's because these laws weren't instilled in me. Like having self-worth wasn't instilled in me. So that's what made me weak and thinking that it's okay. And the media, it don't make it no better. The music don't make it no better. Movies don't make it no better. You know?
Everything worldly, doesn't help.
Yeah, I don't usually go for that shit. It's a certain amount of time. Like, I don't really go for that shit.
When Scott come home, we not doing nothing till we married.
But you willing to get married now, like, so that's a little different.
But it's like he still gotta propose. He gotta buy land and all of that stuff. And he just like, hey, whatever you need to, whatever we gonna do, that's what we gonna do.
It's the courting stage, you know what I'm saying? You gotta court.
So it's gonna be some time. It's not gonna just be tomorrow.
Yes, that throws me off. Cause it's like now, it's like the guy. Okay, like if I'm a woman see me and she be like, oh, he could be a husband. Like he's solid. He work hard. But it's like they'll punish that guy and give it up to the guy who don't have no type of value. He get it quicker. But the guy who has value, is like he has to wait for it. So I feel like that don't be making no sense to me.
It's programmed. It's the program that was instilled in their mind. You see the movies, there's so many movies with the bad guy, the girl like the bad guy, that's instilled in their mind. You know what I'm saying? The music, you only see talk about your beat, and I'm gonna take that hoe, and it's popular. You know what I'm saying? And they got money. You know what I'm saying? So of course, the woman gonna say, "Oh wow, yeah." The woman who don't have, who aren't instilled in anything. I'm like, "Oh, why you got money? Okay, I'm gonna just call myself a B and like a hoe because that's what's popular and ain't nothing wrong with it." That's not it's not normalized for a man to be a stand-up guy, take care of his family, love on his mother, be connected to the Most High. That's not normalized right now, but it is soon. It's going to be soon, very soon. It's on the upright. I can pull up so many rappers, young rappers, who like changed their life and who walk in like the narrow path because they had to go through that hard situation and be like, oh snap, this is not what I want.
Mm-hmm. Another thing I would say to that, what did you just say? They'll give it up to the other guy, right?
The guy who don't see no kind of value in him,
right?
But they still give it quicker to that guy.
And then that also takes seeing the work within yourself,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, like instead of being, I get fearful or whatever word you want to use, like, oh dang, she gonna give it to him and I can't get it. Instead of having that on your mind, it's like, well, if she give it to him, then she ain't deserve to have me anyway. So it's changing the way that you think about the whole situation and just that's not somebody that you want anyway. Somebody who just gonna give it up to anybody, or somebody that they don't even see value in.
Because she don't love herself.
Mm-hmm.
She don't see herself as a prize. And like I said, it's not really taught that much for women to like really wait and value your temple. It's not really taught. It wasn't taught to me.
I would say now.
Taught to several. Now, especially now.
It's not, but my mother definitely was like, F these niggas, like, focus on your school, focus on your money, and these niggas gonna be here. And, yeah.
I don't think you should say, fuck these niggas.
I mean, she was basically telling me, mind you, my mom was a teenage mother. Like you do the math and say 15, but I was born days before her 15th birthday. So she telling me as a young female, like really young, like these all they want is to have sex with you. What she ain't saying it like that, but it's like all they want is to do whatever they want with you, but they're not going to give you anything. And she showed me what the standard was. You know what I'm saying? I never really was like, oh, I want for this, I want for that, because my mother was everything and showed me everything that I deserved to have. So now it's like, if you can't treat me like my mom treat me, then why would I, give myself these type of stuff? But I'm not saying I was like that from the rep. I talk about having a whole stage and all that stuff. But I get it now in retrospect, being older. But my mom definitely did say that, like, no, don't be worried. She wasn't saying be worried about being a wife or nothing like that. She was like, get your stuff together.
And it's also rooted with like daddy issues. A lot of us didn't have, strong like father figures in our lives, or fathers who taught us, hey daughter, this is what to watch out, or this is how men are, you know what I'm saying? So they go out into the world and gotta find out for themselves. Then they might get their heart broken, then they're like, oh man, bump this, I'm about to be a hoe. Cause I got my heart is like going, so it's like, it's also a symptom of like a broken heart.
I hate that for both sides though. Like I hate when like good men get ruined from just trash females. Like I don't think that's just a one-sided thing.
I think it's like if you just know you have to be who you are, because like when girls do shit, it makes you want to be like, I should do that. Like, especially like girls who disrespect you while you with them. It's like, damn, I should do that. But it's like, that just ain't in me to do it. Like, I just never do that. It ain't in me.
And both sides go through that. Like, what Keisha gonna say, I should have cheated. Like, all the time she told me that, I was doing this and that. I should have been doing it because you over here doing it. Nah, I'm good. You lost out, bruh.
Okay, so what's the requirement? Because, some women, I guess nowadays everybody's saying the average earner guy is like they settling for. So do you feel like you will be settling for like a guy who made 40,000, or like he have to make a certain amount? Or
no, you can't really put a price tag on love, Like, if I feel like God has put you in my life to be my husband, we're gonna build together. Ain't well, he already gotta be established. Nah, we trying to build an empire. Even if I know some marriages, like they husband didn't have anything, and it was hard. They still stuck around, and it paid off in the end. I'm talking about with their marriages. I'm not talking about like dating. You know what I'm saying? If we're married and we going through some financial issues, I'm not gonna let that financial issue like be the reason why we get divorced. Like, it's not worth it. It's just money. Money can come, money can go. That's what money does. So,
tell us about a traumatic experience you've had during your childhood.
Well, a traumatic experience that I've had. I'll be waiting for it.
And action.
Okay, so I'm just gonna go back to the first one that came to my mind. So a traumatic experience that I had as a child, I think I was like 4 or 5. I think I was like 5. Can't remember. Was a family friend's daughter that I knew. My mom was at work, and a family friend's daughter. Well, her co-worker's daughter, I was spending time with her. She was older than me. And she was like, you want me to show you this website that I just found? It's popped up on my computer. I'm 5 years old. I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? Then it popped up and she showed it to me, and it was porn. And like a 5-year-old seeing porn, I was like, ew, disgusting. But I took in so much, you know what I'm saying? And that opened up doors for so many other things later on in my life. It was like a ripple effect, being exposed to stuff like that at a young age. So that was the most traumatic thing. It was an open door. You know, the enemy, the devil, waits for open doors in your life to bring in trauma or something that happened to you that can cause a ripple effect in your life. So
what do you feel like that led to?
Rebellion. It led to sexual immorality. It led to just open doors. That was the most two things: rebellion and sexual immorality. You know, because she was older than me. I seen her as like a friend. You know, like a big sister. Like why would you show me this and like corrupt my innocent mind? So yeah.
So you feel like if a child see gay porn, you feel like that'll make them want to do that, like if they see it?
It's just an open door. You never know. They might get curious.
Actually, when I was younger, we was in the projects, and it was an older lady. She was in her 20s, and we was like in elementary, and we went in. She was watching gay porn.
Who?
It's a demon. That's a demon too.
That didn't trigger me no kind of way.
You said you was where? Y'all was in a project?
Yeah, we was just kids just playing. Then we went in this lady apartment. She was playing gay porn. So I mean, it was kind of weird. Like it was like other kids in there too.
Really?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But my cousins though, they was already like fucking like. So that was my first time actually seeing like a sexual act. So it was like
men?
2 dudes.
But was it a lot of little boys around?
It was only boys in there. It was a grown lady in her 20s, and it was like boys in there. It wasn't
She was
girls in there.
showing them.
That's like everything's all spiritual, right? So the devil likes to they pray, especially on the youngins, the youth, the little people. You know what I'm saying? That's the easiest way to get you while you're young. You know what I'm saying? So you can have issues mentally or internally when you get older. You know, you never know. Like when I studied Christianity, you know what I'm saying? I studied the Bible. I learned about your eye gates. You can intake stuff in your eyes. You can intake stuff in your ears. Then you can intake stuff with your mouth when you see. So when you see certain things, you can program or download it into your body, into your subconscious, and it can mess with you. In the spiritual realm, demons can also, like, you can gain demons with watching certain things with your eye gates. That's why music and media is so important, because they attack eyes and ears. They know. It was a video on TikTok. Y'all seen that video of Cardi B? She was crying on the phone. She was like, y'all see that video? I plugged it. She was crying on the phone, and she was like, "Man, I just want to be done with this. I'm tired of this. Like this music. This music is literally activating demons." This is Cardi B. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of those rappers and singers, they sold their soul. You can tell, like, by the music they push. So.
Send me the clip what you talking about too.
Have you ever heard anything, like, was that the last time you were in that lady's apartment?
Yeah, and you know what's weird? My sister walked in too, and then I think we left out. We left out. When my sister walked in, we left out, and then when we was eating dinner, my sister was like sucking the hot dog because she remember seeing. She was being funny though.
Yeah.
I remember her doing that. She started laughing.
Oh wow! And now it was that quick though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like she saw that, and then it was that quick that something was in her. That was, like program. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But I mean, I was self-aware. I knew I wasn't gay young, so I mean, it was just like, okay, I seen this shit. Like, I didn't get curious about guys or nothing like that. So
It's more than one clip about her saying this, because it just went viral on TikTok, and this is it.
Because it's like these songs are activating like these demons that I killed. You know what I'm saying? Like
short clip of.
Do you think that's a backlash off of Black China? Because you know Black China is getting a lot of clout for changing her life over.
Oh, this is a while ago. This was like way before Black China.
Black China been changing her life for some
Yeah.
years now. It just came out, but it's been some years that she got baptized.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know if it's backlash. Just know, bro.
But I mean, I like it though. I like that.
But you can't tell me it's not demonic. Look at that.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
they all get dressed up like the devil. Everything.
It's blatant in your face. I was like, oh no, it's nothing. You didn't look too deep into it. No, you're asleep.
Yeah, or you just choose to be blind because you like this person that damn much. It's not that deep.
And the thing, so the reason why, I used to be a whole bunch of different spiritualities. Like I did Buddhism, Islam, I did Ifa, I did it all throughout my entire life. And Christianity it was always there, like in the background for me. But I never got too deep into it. But recently, like I had experience with ayahuasca. And if you don't know, ayahuasca is a plant medicine.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I had these. I did ayahuasca before, but it was with my child's father, and he was very. He was a warlock. I'm gonna say plain and simple.
Who is that?
A witch, but a guy.
And it's like it's the spirit that was in him. It wasn't him, but he was operating in very dark realms. So when he was giving me this plant medicine, it wasn't showing me what it needed to show me. It was showing me like the fantasy, or it wasn't going as deep as it needed to go. And I went to Mexico, I did ayahuasca. I did Bufo combo ayahuasca. And I did the medicine because I knew it was something in me and needed to be purged out. I said, it's something, I don't know if it's a demon, it's a negative spirit in me that I need to get out. When I did the ayahuasca, I seen all the demons inside of me. All of them. And it was scary as heck.
What do you consider a demon though?
It's like, it's not just one thing. Like, they look different. They all look different. They don't look godly.
So did they represent like a behavior you do or something?
It was, so you can't get demons. It was also, okay, so it wasn't just the stuff that I did. It was also stuff that I took from other people. You know, energy that I took from other people. So you can get demons, you know. I used to do spells, I used to do all that stuff. You know, but I used to think, oh, I'm not a dark, I'm a light witch, I'm a white witch, not a dark witch. But it's the same thing. But anyways, you can get demons from eating people's food. People can put stuff in your food. People can speak stuff over your water and be like, here you go. You can, your eye gates, your ear gates, generational curses. It can pass through your bloodline. You can get demons as a child. If you see your parents arguing, boom. And it's not like, oh, it's like a demon, like, oh, it's bad. But that spirit is within you, because whatever you see, it opened up the gate for that spirit to enter you. Like the spirit of anger or the spirit of murder. The spirit of murder can come upon you even if you didn't murder nobody. If your heart feels hate, it's the spirit of murder. So I seen, even like watching certain movies, I seen that whole the assignment with the Joker and Harley Quinn. That was a demonic assignment. The Joker and Harley Quinn, when everybody was dressed like Joker, everyone was the Harley Quinn. Everybody, the whole movie came out. It was a whole thing. I did it, but I seen that evil thing inside of me. I said, "Oh snap! This was an assignment." So, like, to take people's souls. Like, it was a video. You seen the little Uzi Vert video? He was like, y'all at this concert now, about to enter the rapture. Oh, it's too late now. You can't go. This man is blatantly saying, we can take your soul through the music that you're listening to. This man has Satanism symbols on his belt, he's blatant. He's blatant with it. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, it made me like see all the doors I was opening with them spiritualities. And knowing I had my encounter with Christ. I seen Christ with my eyes. I seen him. He was a black man. Christ is a black man. And folks say, oh, it's the white man religion. Well, things can get turned around, so you not, get into it. But that's our thing. That's our stuff. Like everything else is our stuff. So it just made me want to like really purify myself. And no spiritual bath, no sage, none of that protected me. Because if it did protect me, if it was cleansing me, I wouldn't have all that within inside of me. The only thing that cleansed me, and that's cleansing me, my process isn't finished. The only thing that's cleansing me is my walk with Christ. Because without, like in the whole Bible, most of his acts are deliverance. He's delivering folks from demons. If you blind, that's a demon. If you sick, infirmity, that's a demon. He literally delivering his people. And it's mostly the Israelites who had demons. The Christians were infested with demons. So that was just my eye opening. It was like, oh, I need to get my life right, because everything that's happening right now is stated in the Bible. So it was like really the end of times.
Do you meditate?
I used to meditate. Right now, yo, because like I said, it's like if you meditate, you open up the door. You open the door for demons. I was like, good. So right now, I just meditate on the Word of God. Like I just meditate to like be able to hear God talk to me.
Mm.
I don't meditate to go nowhere, to like go to a different dimension. You know what I'm saying? I meditate to really clear out my mind and hear God's voice.
I believe that, bro. Like I've been meditating more, right? And I'm seeing it. Like I'm seeing like, oh, I'm going somewhere. Like, but every once in a while, like if I see it, I get scared, so I come back like real quick. But I'll see stuff. Mm-hmm. And the last time I was meditating, ever since then, my shoulders feel like something just like grabbed me there. My shoulders hurt like I don't know what. And I'm like, what the hell didn't touch me? Yeah. And I haven't done anything. I haven't worked out. I haven't done nothing out of the ordinary. But my shoulders feel nutty.
It opened doors. That's why y'all be real careful going into the spirits. Like when you do like doing mushrooms or smoking weed, you go into that. You open it. You literally open. In the spiritual room, you open your energy fill up for things like drinking. Oh, they're not operating their highest. Like let me jump in their body real quick. You know, the spirit right there. So that's why I'm not really doing meditating like that, because like the new age spirituality is like it's a trick from the devil. Like even crystals, like I used to wrap crystals. I used to do all that stuff. And crystals are tampered with now, y'all. And it's not just me. I had multiple people come up to me like, yo, bro, my crystals. Before I even got saved in Christ, I met this brother in Little 5 Points. And he was like, yeah, I had a dream last night. It was crazy. It was crazy. When I woke up, God was like, give it to my crystals. Got rid of my crystals. I was good. Then my client, she had crystals. She said she kept getting sick, like repeatedly, and she kept getting sick. And God told her, get rid of the crystals. Gone. But the thing is, like, people who are working for these dark realms, they know how to, you can put spirits in crystals. And you can also take someone's spirit. This is what, I'm not going to say who it was, but this is what someone that I knew told me. He used to go to the club, have a rose quartz in his hand, and be by the DJ in front of the club and take everybody's spirit from them and trap it into this big rose quartz. So I would say anyone who has crystals, if you're not getting it straight from the earth, don't do it. Crystal blue. It's a crystal shop in Little 5 Points. Tamper with it. The energy not right. It's not right. So I would say go crystal mining. Crystals are fine, but get them from the earth and don't put all your power into them. These crystals aren't for like, oh, but no, it's not what that's for. You know, it's just an object. Don't idolize the object. You know, all that you need is literally within inside you. With the connection you got with God, you can heal somebody just by touching them. That's how powerful we are when we connect straight from the source.
Heal somebody from what?
Anything. Cancer. I've seen it with my own eyes. When I go to these deliverance services recently, that's what I'm on now. I was scared recently. Like before I got deeper into it, I was fearful of learning about demonology. That's the study of demons. You know what I'm saying? I was so scared. But now that I've gotten into that, I've gotten into the service of deliverance and casting out demons and being in these services and seeing how these infirmities are actually demons. Cancer, all that, breast cancer, everything. Any infirmity and sickness, it's everything is spiritual before it's physical. Everything manifests in the spiritual before it manifests in the physical. So if you got any money issues, that's because something going on in the spiritual realm that you got to clear out so you can get that money rolling. So yeah.
So you don't think your body's just missing something? Like,
My
instead
body.
of you're saying like it's somewhere. I mean, it's a demon. Your body could just be missing something, right? You saying cancer could be a demon, like, but it could just be your body is not getting what it needs, right? Instead of just thinking it's like some type of demon.
But what caused that though? What caused you not taking care of yourself? What caused you to open yourself
They've
up?
been saying
that
cancer
level.
is like a vitamin D deficiency. Like if you're not getting enough vitamin D, like that could cause cancer.
The doctor don't know nothing about spirituality.
No, it's not no doctor. It's one of the doctors, and it's like people who kind of like steady. Like Dick Gregory is like you know, like if something wrong with you, you start looking it up. Like you know, like he was saying, like if you stop eating meat and all sugar, it'll get rid of cancer. So there's people who
That's
like
mucus. That's basically what they seeing. It's like mucus has pretty much all of the illnesses you want to think of is about mucus. So when you stop eating meat, you never see the mucus. When you stop eating dairy, you never see the mucus. That was the main reason why I stopped eating all this stuff.
Yeah. But it's spiritual before it's physical. That's just the physical catalyst. You know what I'm saying? But like cancer is like a problem, but what is the root of the problem? You know what I'm saying? What would cause you to like epigenetics, you know? The mind and the gut are connected. So you can heal yourself through your mind, through certain thoughts. What thought came into your mind to catalyze this to happen? You know? So, yeah.
That's all that shit foreign to me. I don't know nothing about no demons or
Spirituality.
I don't know nothing about that. Okay, I heard that was your biggest teacher.
Yeah. Oh, a what?
I heard that was your biggest teacher.
A hurt. My relationship with my child's father was the biggest hurt. That was my biggest teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And that got me to where I am now.
You still in love with him?
I have love for him. I don't let him spirits that we're operating, but I do have love for him.
Okay, the most awkward reaction when you told the guy he wasn't getting it.
I never had an awkward reaction like that.
He just be like, cool.
Yeah.
What about you, Gary?
I don't know.
Right, I feel like it's the same thing. Like
They just be like, okay.
yeah.
They don't get angry and nothing.
I had one person when I was like, nah, like, cause I used to be able to just lay up with people and like not do anything. But there was one dude, I actually did want to do something with him, but like,
Your mind was just like, nah.
nah, my line sister was like, don't do it, bro. Like, if you have sex with him, he's not gonna talk to you again, cause she knew him. And so I was like, all right. So then I chilled with him and like I was trying not to have sex with him, but it was like basically we was like Netflix and chilling. But he like, bruh, I did not come here to watch this movie type stuff. And he basically like took it, but it was like I wanted to do it at the same time. So, but after that, he didn't talk to me.
Hold on. You said took it. So
Yeah.
how does that work? Like he just took your clothes off?
Yeah, like really start getting to it.
And what you weren't saying no, you just like.
It was like, well, I wanted to do it anyway, so it was like, well, I tried not to, but oh well, we're about to do it.
I never heard.
I mean, because it was like, Like, if I was really like, no, that would be rape. Like, it would have been rape. For real. But I wanted to do it. So it was like.
It was no nose.
Like, we was laying together. He kept trying, like, do little stuff. And I'm like, nah, chill. Like, we just watching this movie. And, like, he chilled for a second. He was like, man, I ain't come here to watch no movie. And, like, basically, yeah, like, start getting to it. And then once he started getting to it, I'm aggressive. So, like, aggressive stuff it turn me on. So I'm like, all right, like, it is what it is. Let's get it.
Oh, you got into it then?
Yeah. But if I said, like, if I didn't want to do it, that would have been rape for sure. The way that he went about it.
It sounded like it at first.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I just liked it. So it was like, it was not rape if you like it. It's not.
I don't know. That's a weird ass question.
It's not rape if you like it.
I don't know about that one.
You like
rape
it.
victims would be at your ass for that.
They wouldn't be. They didn't like it.
I'm saying something could feel good and you could still be saying no. You get what I'm saying?
But they still didn't like it because they were saying no. You know what I'm saying?
It could feel. They can like it, the feeling, but they don't want it. You get what
But
I'm
no,
saying?
I liked the situation. Like, oh, you gonna take over this and I liked everything about it. It was like, oh, okay, cool. So it's not rape if you like it. I'm not saying if you're uncomfortable. That's not.
That's a
okay.
post right there.
If it's not rape if you like. I used to say that all the time.
Wow, that's crazy.
I used to say that to people. For real, it's not rape. But I wouldn't post that T-shirt because cancel culture and people too sensitive. I'd probably like make it and send it to Spencer's or something maybe.
Yeah, that's crazy. Okay, a time when being a good person backfired.
Being a good person backfired. I don't really feel like I take L's in that way. I just know that I'm a good person. So if you don't reciprocate my energy, it's like, okay, I'm just not going to give you this again, basically.
So you don't give too much to where it's not a problem.
Yeah, like I'm just being myself.
Yeah.
So at the point where you violate, it's like, okay. And I also don't expect too much from people either. So I feel like expectations get you hurt more than anything. So.
Okay, I know one. It happened recently. So I saw this guy, Low 5 Points, recently. He was homeless. I think he was homeless. He looked homeless. He was playing guitar. And I was like, oh. And I went to the party that I was at, a birthday celebration. And they had chicken, right? And I don't like chicken like that, but I got him like a plate. And I walked back over him. He was outside. I was like, do you want some food? He was like, is it spicy? I can't really carry it. I was like, oh, I guess you're not hungry. And I just took it.
That's how homeless people be in Atlanta, right?
It was a white guy. I don't think he was homeless. I don't know.
Oh, today there was this guy with his gas tank open when I was dropping somebody off a lift, and he was like driving Uber or something too. And so I was like, I really waited for him to pull up so that I could tell him like, yo, your gas tank open. He was like, that gas ain't going nowhere. I was like,
oh my gosh.
I was like, oh, okay, right.
What make you not
So you
wanna
won't
talk to
die.
people?
Yeah.
People just be like
Nasty.
nasty, and it's like something simple, like
Yeah, I was just like, oh, okay. And I just like kind of got my car away from his car. I'm like, I'm just leave you over there where you at. But yeah, like, just was looking out, man. But I feel like when I was about to tell him, somebody else had already told him, and he was just fed up with somebody telling him that his thing was open. Because before I could even say it, when I was like, yo, he kind of looked at me like, I know. And then I said it, and then he said that. So I'm like, okay.
I just say appreciate it. I don't give a fuck how many times like somebody
Yeah.
tell me like
He was like, thank you. He must have been fed up about that. Okay, I have a question. It's a situation. So I'm kind of similar to you. I've always been Christian, but it's like now I'm getting deeper into things, right? But I've stopped drinking, smoking, eating certain things. It ain't had nothing to do with my spirituality. It's more so like my health. But now, today, actually, my sister's birthday is coming up. And so my sister Bree, my sister Portia. So Bree was like, so are you going to be a grandma next weekend? Or are you going to have some fun? And I'm like, I always have fun. Like, it doesn't matter if I'm drinking, if I'm smoking, if I'm sober, or what have you, right? I'm always having fun. And so it bothered me that both of them basically had this idea that because I'm not drinking or smoking, that somehow I'm just going to be less fun when I've already been out with them. So have you had that experience basically with going through? I'm gonna find a video.
I seen the video today, and that correlates to what you said. It was just like, it was this guy. He was a pastor, I think. And he was talking about, the story of Adam and Eve. He was like, when Eve ate the apple, she didn't get in trouble. But when Adam ate the apple, they got in trouble. So it was basically like temptation. Like those folks, they can get by doing that. But when you do it, you're gonna have some repercussions. So I was like, oh snap, because I've been like in environments where I get tempted, but I don't do it. You know what I'm saying? So just like fighting that temptation. But around people, yeah, I had that recently. A family friend I went out with, she was older than me. She was drinking. They were drinking. I wasn't really drinking. I wasn't drinking at all. And I feel like, I guess you know how, let's just say you're in an environment and folks are drinking and smoking and doing drugs. And because you're the sober one, they get kind of like irritated because you ain't doing bad with them. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that kind of situation. So just be a light. You know what I'm saying? I guess you just be the temperance in the environment.
Do you feel a disconnect from those people now, or is it?
Oh yeah, it's a huge disconnect. But at times, like you gotta be the light for them. They're like really going through some stuff internally that you don't really see. To make them want to damage their bodies, Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of made me feel like I don't even want to go out with y'all no more.
Yeah, you definitely got to separate yourself.
Yeah, but I'm going to go because it's my sister's birthday, you know what I'm saying? But out the gate, I'm like, why does this matter? What I drink don't make you drunk. So
Can I show her the video? We got the time.
But I've always been around people who wanted me to do what they do because I never drank or smoked. So that's always been. One time they tried to like force beer down my throat.
Bree, I have a video of Bree like grabbing my face, trying to get me to take a shot.
That makes your friends though. When I look back, I be like, them motherfuckers ain't my friend. Like I'm gonna let my friend be they self. I'm not gonna always try to, bro, let's do this. Like, come on, nigga, I don't do that, man.
Like leave me alone. Yeah. Let me be me.
I'm just in the tea.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm used to that though. Your friends change, man.
I forgot that you don't drink too. Like
I don't drink or smoke either. I stopped smoking last year, and it was like I smoked since I was like 12 years old. It was an addiction. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad I got over that hump. Drinking wasn't hard for me to stop because I really didn't like getting drunk or feeling that feeling, but smoking was really hard for me.
And I stopped drinking. I've stopped drinking and smoking multiple times, like over long periods of time. But recently, I stopped drinking over a time period. So it went from like I'll be partying, taking shots, whoop de whoop. Then it was like wine or beer, and then it was like okay, wine. Then now it's nothing, right? So it's like they've seen me over this whole time, but the lesser and lesser it got, it's like But even our last time hanging out and everybody taking shots and stuff, I was taking shots of cider. So I'm not being lame. Like I'm lining up shots and everything. Like, come on, y'all pouring up what we doing,
right?
You know? And I'm really with y'all. So what is the problem?
Yeah, just be it's like do what I do, man. It's like that. You have to prove to them and do what they do, like you down or something.
Yeah, like y'all good.
Okay, a disrespectful behavior that women do would say a man is insecure if he doesn't allow it, and vice versa.
I gotta rephrase, how I'm gonna say it, because how I say it is like very blunt. I feel like two disrespectful things is being vulgar with what you wear and also calling yourself a B. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, oh, go, girl, stop playing. Like, you know what I'm saying? But if a man do, it's like, you call me a man. Yeah, but you call yourself a bitch, you know what I'm saying? So,
my ex told me that, and after that, I stopped. I was like, that's a fair point. And
Yeah.
I stopped doing it.
you teach people how to treat you.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you can't teach them, so you gotta just leave.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I think.
Okay, I guess a messy breakup that mentally drained
Oh, you just about like, should I go there? Should I not go there?
I'm cracking up. Take it there. Take it there.
It's just like, with my child's father, that's what really drained me, honestly. You know, because I just want people to be at their best. And times they don't want to be at their best.
Give me an example of you doing that.
You said what?
Give me an example of you want him to be his best.
Well, I would say, okay, this is when we weren't together, but he was still pursuing, and I was open to it a little bit. But he was supposed to spend the night at my house with the baby, you know, and he said, all right, I'm gonna go to this little seance or whatever, and I'm gonna come back. And he was out the whole night. I waited up, like 3, 4, waiting. All right, he come. No, not coming away. Then 12 p.m. in the afternoon. I'm like, this mother, you know what I'm saying? Like, I really, and he did substances. So he was high. I smelt it. I smelt everything. And I seen it with my eyes, because I can see with my eyes. I seen the darkness over him. I was just like, dang. You know what I'm saying? I should have let him stay out there. Because if I did, maybe I wouldn't be pregnant, you know? But I had such a, like, forgiving heart. I seen the good in this person, even though they did bad, and they did bad to me. But me knowing, me not knowing. And he probably would have with multiple people that night, you know? And I still let you back in my house. And just that cycle of forgiving people, even when they do wrong, even when they hurt you, and they have no intention on changing. That can mentally drain you. Especially when you want somebody to be at their best. When you rooting for them. That can really mentally, and they manipulate your emotions. That can really mentally drain you.
So you think you can really have like a good relationship with somebody like on a really strong drug?
No. I don't think so. You mean like a solid, like,
Basically,
boyfriend
like somebody you
relationship?
were married, like in the.
I don't think so, because basically it's something that they love more than you and the things that's important to you. So at that point, it's like you come in second, third, fourth, fifth to this thing. Like my dad is not supposed to drink. He had a seizure. He was bleeding out his eyes. This happened in front of my youngest brother, and that wasn't enough for him to not drink. He will still drink. He just had to go back because he was having nosebleeds, and they told him. I think that they told him not to drink again, but he was like, "Oh, they told me I could drink light beer," and I think they mean minimum, like a light amount. But he's saying like Corona, you know what I'm saying, like a light beer, and we're like, I'm like, there's nothing that will keep you from doing this. Not your youngest son seeing you damn near die. Not the fact that you have grandkids, like nothing.
Nothing will keep them from doing what they're doing, trust me.
Yeah.
And it's the point, it's not even them. It's like, I remember, like, and the Bible said, you're not fight against flesh and blood, it's principalities. So these people that got attitudes, folks who is nasty, those who got addictions, it's not them, it's the spirit that's within them. That's why you gotta have compassion for people. Because, like, damn, I'm gonna pray for you. Because you really got something going on inside you that make you act like this. and don't take it. That's what I'm working on, not taking stuff so personal.
So you
It's
should
hard.
stay with him, right?
No, I can't stay with him. God told me not to stay with him. You know how you can enable somebody to keep doing, yeah. And you got people around you can also enable you to keep doing bad.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't. He has to find Christ. That's what he needs. You know, nothing else. He no Risha, no Buddha, nothing, nothing. That's the only thing that will completely save you from the state that you're at. That's the only thing that will yank all them spirits up out of you and make you a new person. The only thing.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes it's like a lot of people don't be having nothing to live for. And I feel like I meet females, they have nothing to live for and they just be so reckless, they don't care about nothing. So it's like a child or anything, it's not
Yeah.
gonna make them try to do right. Like,
Right.
it's just gonna do what they do.
Yeah. It's unfortunate.
Okay, last time someone hated in a joking way,
Mm-hmm.
like, you know, saying something slick, but they was trying to act like they was being funny.
My uncle will give me mad compliments. Like, he like all my projects and he'll help me with my stuff. And when we first started, basically when we first got connected, he's been cool with my dad and my mom since they were all in middle school. So now that's who I'm always on the phone with. I'm always on the phone with my uncle now. But we'll be on three-way calls. So one time, we were on the phone, my mom was on the phone too. My mom was shading me in a second. And he was like, yeah, Kayla's so smart, like, she's so intelligent and da-da-da, and like, well, da-da-da. And my mother was like, she is. And I saw it coming. I was like, I was just waiting to see how it was going to come out. But I'm like, yeah, she'll never say that because she thinks that I'm naive. And I said that like while we on the phone, but that's basically what it was given. But she just said, she is. And then but my mom will go and explain what she means too. So she went on to explain like, yeah, she got book smart, but, and yeah, so she thinks I'm green.
So what, you don't have like street smarts or wisdom?
That's what she thinks, but I'm like, I've been on my own since I was 18. So, what, I ain't died, I ain't come back crying, I haven't, you know. So what was keeping me up? It couldn't have been a man or nothing like that.
Has she helped you though? She helped you, right?
I never went back and asked for help. The only thing that I went back to my mom and said, I was renting Airbnbs out. And so I'm like, look, I'm renting out Airbnbs. You could just let me rent your house if you want to. Like, I'll rent that from you instead of renting it from them. And she helped me because my rent is $400 versus like $1,100 or something like that. But
Yeah, that's a steal, nigga.
yeah, it is. It is. But I never ran back home. Like my mom would say, you would rather die than ask for some help. And I'm like, yeah, well, she know.
I ain't like that.
You'll ask for help?
I'm saying, yeah, with my immediate family,
But
nobody
that's because
else
y'all
does.
have that kind of relationship. Like, I know that I can ask my family for help, but I don't like that they'll talk about it. And they'll say the same things like,
Rub it in your face.
yeah, they'll complain about it. Oh, don't do something for somebody and then try to throw it in their face or do, but they do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I would rather not ask you for anything or not even throw it in your face, think that they can control you.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I ended up with bills when I was 18, when it was like, oh, you do this and that and something about your phone bill. Oh, okay, I'll pay it. You do this and that and something about, I bought you this car. Oh, okay, I'll pay it. Like, and so that's when I wanted my first job, but after that, it's like, all right, I gotta pay these bills.
I got something going on with my sister, right? Like, I owe her like $2,500, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I had bought this trailer, and she was supposed to buy it from me, and she agreed to pay for it, and she stopped fucking paying on it. So now she want her money back that I owe her. But last time I sent her some money on Cash App, she didn't even take it. It came back to my phone, and then she talking shit to my mama, acting like I'm doing her wrong.
Right.
But she owed, that shit was like $9,000. So she owed me that, but she saying I owe her this.
$2,500. Right?
So it's like, I'm like, fuck it. Like, you know, you ain't gonna pay me back. Like, why should I pay you back? That don't even make sense.
And it shouldn't. I feel like with siblings, because my brothers went through that, like a dispute over some money. I feel like with siblings, like we should never get to that point over no money. Like we gonna gossip, because that's what we know. That's what we gonna do with our parents and our siblings and stuff. But it shouldn't be a big issue over some money. Just handle me right. Like don't do me dirty.
See the opposite.
Mm.
See, you can tell, like, it's something different. Like, because when I used to let her borrow money, I'd be like, oh, give it to me when you want to. And I'd be like, if you ain't got it, you ain't got to pay me back. That's how I would do her. But now she calling, I'm like, yeah, Bug owe me some money. He ain't paying me back. So it's like, I don't even treat her like that.
Yeah.
Like, but it's like the total opposite now that I'm supposed to owe her. But she owe me anyway. So
Right.
she just going to be like it is. Because she owe me way more. So
I hope y'all just get over it though.
I ain't worried about it.
I hope
Even though, like, I still got to pay for that shit.
Right.
I ain't even mad about it. Okay, a response that threw your parents off. And something as a kid that you never told them.
Something as a kid never told them.
Yeah.
Not just not telling them.
Something like, yeah, something you did under 18 and you never told them.
Well, that's kind of difficult because my mom already knew it. Like, all that I did, even when I hid it. So, I don't know about that. Yeah.
What about what you say about a response?
A response that threw them off.
Oh, so something you said to them that threw them off.
I mean, one of my responses, I was like in the 6th grade, and I came in and my mom was like, did I do something? And I was like, oh, whatever. And she said, what the fuck that mean, nigga? She said, what the fuck did you talking to my dad? Like, what the fuck does that mean? So it kind of threw him off.
Now she had this. When you talk about your parents, I just imagine like your dad sitting on the couch watching TV, and then your mom in the kitchen, and her just talking to him, and he like just giving her whatever answers.
I think they were both in the kitchen. Like, I came in the kitchen.
Like, what'd he say?
Yeah, I guess it wasn't enough to like beat me or something. Because she would have whooped my ass if she thought I was getting smart.
Now she had to ask your dad, like, he getting smart?
She didn't know what to do.
You don't have one?
I can't think of nothing like that.
Okay, a bad decision you made being too emotional.
Ooh, I got lots. I got a lot of those. A lot.
Let's talk about it.
A lot. I used to have like really bad anger to the point I used to black out.
You abusive too?
Was I abusive?
Yeah.
So okay, in the past, yes, I was very abusive, but it wasn't like, it was like that. It was like if you yelling at me, okay, I can talk and like have it, like this, right? But if you start yelling at me, getting in my face, and start cursing at me at the same time, the old Ashayla, I used to just, real quick, because it used to the fire used to boil up inside of me. It was also that anger demon that I'm, working with. It used to boil up inside of me, and I couldn't communicate while I was angry. So what I did, and that really happened. I used to fight a lot during the time, it was like around 16 to like, I would say 2019, around this time. Before I never fall, but when you have so much stuff bottled up in you, you like a ticking time bomb. So anything, like if you keep cursing at me, yelling at me, I can't even talk. Like we can't talk like this. I'm sorry, like my anger is gonna snap off. Boom, you might get hit. So I would say when I was younger, I used to be a lesbian too. I used to have a girlfriend.
You give off gay vibes.
I am not getting out. I'm delivering. I'm not For real. But anyways,
Yo.
when I had a girlfriend, I was a very rebellious, and during that time, like, she cheated on me, and she also sold Zans.
She what?
Sold Xanax.
Oh, okay.
And so I had like at least like 2 Xans, and we was driving. I think she had a Xan too. We was driving, and we both blacked out while we're driving. We don't remember any. We don't know how we got from A to B, but we still got back home safely. Another emotional thing. I think we was yelling. Like I used to be very, the past and shit. I used to be very hard on myself to the point where if I feel like I did wrong, you ain't gonna harm me. I'm gonna harm myself. That was
You cutting yourself?
cutting. That was when I was younger. Cutting, self harm. But when I was 17, I was with a girl, and I think we was arguing. I felt so bad. I felt so angry. I never really went talk about this that much, but I went in the kitchen because I used to live with her, and I got a knife, and I was high off Zans, and I did this. Angry, was arguing, angry. Got the knife, stuck it right through my leg. I could have bled out and died from that
It sounds like
experience.
some demon stuff.
It is. That's what it was. That's what was in me. You know what I'm saying? You doing these irrational, even the suicide thing. When I was younger, that came about because it was like photos of like that was being normalized. Like I went through a whole emo phase. Then after that emo phase came like the whole cut in or type feeling. That was just all. It was demons, and it's not normal to want to harm yourself. It's not. So, and it's also lack of love, lack of, connection with God. So, yeah, that was drugs, substance abuse was the main thing. And I'm glad that I got delivered from that at a young age and not have to go through this industry, the music industry or the arts entertainment industry, and have to go through it then. I got a taste of it now, and I'm good. So yeah.
So, okay. I heard this person they deserved it. I'm fucking up. Okay, I heard this person they deserved it, and they should have never played with you. Like, who was that? Who would that person be?
I don't think no one really deserves to be hurt.
Even if it hurts you.
Even if they hurt me, I would feel bad for hurting them.
I agree with that. I never even.
But it's like not my character. Like, if it went that like deep, like my true character, like I love everybody. I have agape love for everybody. I don't want to be at the point where I'm like, oh, I'm trying to like really get at this person, and cause I know that's not me. That's me being out of alignment. If you even got me into my emotions to be like that. So yeah, I wouldn't want to see nobody, even my worst enemies. At this point where I'm in right now, I wouldn't see my worst enemy die or be in suffering pain. I want all of them to come to the light.
I don't know, but I believe it.
I pray for my enemies. I do.
I don't know.
It depends. I'm still growing. Like, it depends. I think, like, closest to that recently, I was talking about somebody, like, snaked me. And I feel like I'm on track to do, like, really large things. And so I can't have nobody around me who's a snake. And I really would feel like I would take somebody out who could threaten what I'm trying to do. So, yeah, I'm not, completely like, oh, I love you. But as long as it's from a distance, you know what I'm saying? But if you could jeopardize something, like I think about Fred Hampton, and y'all know who that is.
Mm.
Fred Hampton was the leader of the Black Panther Party, and the main reason why the Black Panther Party died was because the FBI infiltrated the Black Panther Party with this damn car thief. They got him in there. They got him to go to the meetings. They got him to report on what's going on, what it looked like in there, da 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 da. And this nigga saw what, like, everything that Fred Hampton was doing for us, and he still snaked us. And like, when the movie came, because they put out a movie and everything, when the movie came out and showed everything, he ended up killing himself after that movie came out. But somebody like that around me, and they almost found out that who he was at one point. And it's like, when you watch it, you like, damn, to know where we are now, it's like, they should have killed that nigga. Like, that's just how I feel, point blank. Like, dang, if they really would have known what would have happened. But and I think about myself like that, is I want to see greatness for all of us. So if somebody is infiltrating my stuff, or
gotta have discernment.
Yeah. And that's why I'm like, I can't say everybody, because I don't feel like I have enemies, and I don't want any enemies.
Right.
But anybody who's against my people, because that's what I'm here for, I can't play. You know, too many people have played before, and we just see that it didn't work because of infiltration or people snaking each other.
Yeah, definitely gotta keep them at a distance.
There's always somebody close though who mess up everything.
And they make you like, you can't trust nobody. I swear, the more gold and the closer I get to things, I'm like, you know, pushing away from the table. I don't want to be around nobody, because I just want to. I'm like, let me just talk to me. And sometimes I hear God talking to me, and he be like, shut up. Because I want to share everything with my loved ones. Like, the people closest to me, I be telling them, like, yeah, I'm going to do this, or look, this just happened. And God be like, shut up. I be like, oh, there's only a certain amount of coincidence that happened, and you got to know this is something more.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, dang, I really got to shut up.
Yeah.
I can't talk to this person.
Nope.
And he'd be like, nah, shut up.
Not even your own mother.
Yeah.
Because they'll knock it down.
For real. And the energy might not be right with their thoughts, or, you know, they don't feel it for themselves, so they speaking negatively over it. So you just, that's going to be like my hardest thing. I'm learning to just shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but a lot of times, like, you can threaten somebody with 60 days in jail and they'll do whatever. Like, it ain't even that much time.
The damn car thief, it was something like that, like something slight. They caught him basically like stealing the car. And they was like, well, we got something else for you. Do this. But it was like, it didn't matter what he saw, how much greatness he saw. He even questioned it, like, you sure about this? Like, this dude ain't no gangster. This dude ain't no threat to society. But he still, he felt like this white cop is treating him good. He get to eat dinner inside his house and stuff like that. So I think they ended up giving him a couple $1,000 and like a gas station or something like that, and a car. But he didn't, for what we would have had as a people, he didn't get nothing. And then he killed himself, so just on you, I guess.
It just came down over. Okay, someone you was dating and they slipped up and said something they really weren't supposed to say around you. Well, I give you my example. I was talking to this girl, right? And she was telling me about some girl who fucked her ex-boyfriend. And she said, "Oh, the fuck her fat ass boyfriend." And I'm like, bitch. Like, I don't even say that because I like women to be who they are. But I just took a self-note. I was like, this is a fucking whore. She really just said that, but I ain't say nothing crazy. I just kind of looked at her like, wow, she really said that.
Do you feel like she noticed?
No.
Oh, okay.
Because I let women be comfortable. I let you talk everything you gonna talk and be yourself. So the next time you ain't gonna try to censor yourself around. So that's how I do it.
All my relationships, we be honest, so we say everything around each other.
Okay, last time you said I'm okay, but you was lying.
recently, you know, this pregnancy now, like, I distance myself from the father. That's not like, oh, she's a bitter. Nah, it's like this person will cause turmoil in my entire life and my children's life. This person doesn't really care about my child, his children, you know. So I have to distance myself from them.
It's the same guy?
Same guy for both children. And, you know, just seeing other people go through their pregnancy experience, you know, have baby showers, baby reels, and knowing that I gotta do it like by myself without the father, it's kind of like, or go to the doctor's office without the child's father being there, or knowing I might have a boy and the father's not gonna be there, but he got 9 other kids.
You making it up? Or you,
No.
you exaggerating?
This is 11. This is child 11. He has 2 other children and Georgia. He spent time with those 2 children.
That sounds like one of the guys was on the show.
That
What's his
sounds like
name?
this dude I know,
What's his name?
Michael.
No.
All right.
He was from Ohio.
You talking about Fly? No.
I'm forgetting his name, but he
He was
carried a whole
dating.
bunch
What's
of
his
kids.
name?
Who?
Yeah. I forgot his name, but he
got-
rapped.
Yeah.
Light
He a
skin,
rapper?
kind of light skin.
Your baby daddy a rapper. I don't think he was a warlock though. He
I
not
don't
even-
think y'all know what.
Yeah.
He my child.
Her baby daddy a warlock and some more stuff.
He a shaman.
Oh. Yeah. He's
He a priest.
yeah. Hyphy?
Hyphy Cash or something?
Cash Hyphy or something like that. But yeah, I don't. He's not giving like the description you're giving for your baby daddy.
Yeah, no. So,
But he definitely had a bunch of kids.
yeah. So my mom was like, yeah. Are you okay? I was like, nah. Well, I was like, yeah, I'm fine. But she knew I wasn't okay. So, yeah, that's an example.
That wasn't a red flag that he had 9 kids already.
I was in a different. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't sober.
Right.
He was like, oh, he was the high priest shaman, and he was the plug.
Okay.
You know, and I was young, and he was 17 years older than me. And I met him when I was out by myself. You know, it was manipulation for me to be that young. You know, and using substances. Cause we were supposed to just be friends, just do music together, and that just one time took mushrooms, it just changed.
I want to
Because
try shrooms.
Folks know how to. They know how to. People out here know how to do magic, and really put you under mind control. And I was under mind control.
You saying you feel like mostly men?
No, women too. Women too.
I don't think that I can be. I think that I'm really solid and sound in me. That even if I feel something like that ain't right tugging at me, I'll be like, what is that? Before I just do it. I don't, like, I think about that, and if I ever have to combat that or something like that. Because we hear about people saying spells was cast on them and stuff like that. Like, I haven't encountered it. I pray I never encounter it. But I had a guy tell me that he could cast a spell on my womb and make me only want to have sex with him, and that he did it to a woman before, and I was like, you can't do that to me.
I need this spell.
I was like, man, you can't do that to me. He was like, you don't think so? I'm like, no. But I think I'm something different anyway too. I don't think I'm like just regular people.
But whatever happened, whatever you do, this is the godly law, or let me say, the universal law. As above, so below. Whatever you put out, you will get back.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're putting out bad things, it's gonna come back. If it don't come back on you, it's gonna come back on your children or in your afterlife.
So you feel like that'll be a bad thing if a guy casts a spell that you want?
Yeah, it's a bad.
That's bad?
Yeah, it's witchcraft. It's manipulation. It's control. You want control over a situation instead of letting it happen naturally. If that woman love you, she want to have all your children. You know what I'm saying? It's better just to let it happen organically.
Yes. What you think, Gabe?
I mean, I agree with that. As far as like, if it's supposed to happen, it's gonna happen. Just let whatever happen happen. Don't try to take over it. But that also goes with the idea of like letting things be in God's hands. Like even without trying to cast a spell or anything, by saying, I gotta do this for this to happen, and I need this to happen. Blah blah blah. It's like give it. If you gave it to God and you expect God, just say believe in me.
Mm-hmm.
So if you gave it to God, you already know God gonna give it to you. It may
Yeah.
not be like this, or it may be like this, but you gotta give it to God first.
Yes. Amen.
Hallelujah!
Fire, fire!
Energy! Yes!
Okay, it's a quote that says, sometimes your heart needs to time to accept what your mind already knows.
Mm-hmm.
Give me an example.
I'll go back to my
My
side.
baby daddy. Like, it's the only thing I know.
Oh my God, so many red flags from the beginning. I was like, no. You know, I'm gonna give him a chance. You know?
Yeah, I'm gonna see about it.
3 years. Same thing, you know? So my heart didn't accept. And you know, the thing about the heart was that follow your heart, this and that. But your heart can be tainted. Those don't know that. Your heart can want things that it's not supposed to want. That's why you gotta clean your heart out. And that's the most high to clean your heart out. So yeah. That's what I was saying.
So everything you feel like you desire that's wrong, you don't want it no more?
No.
Okay, let it go. It's gone. Release it.
I don't want to be stuck in that because it's holding up what God got meant for me. The blessing that God got meant for me, my success is holding up all that. So just let me stay in that cycle. It's a cycle. Got to break out that cycle.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, since you so, spiritual and whatnot, what are your thoughts on, like, transgenders and, like, gay people? Like, how do you look at the gay lifestyle now that your heart is pure? You know what I'm saying?
My heart's not pure. I'm in the process of cleansing and purifying. I don't. It's not natural. It's not of God. It's an agenda that's being pushed on the world, on the children. The agenda of gayness was pushed, right when I got out of middle school. It was like, at first it was, oh my gosh, you're gay. High school, boom, everybody gay. All the girls gay, you know what I'm saying? And gay, it wasn't even like, for me being liking girls, or it wasn't me, because I like girls. It was the lust, for wanting to do something. I didn't like, it was that lust, you call it the demons, the spirit, the lust spirit. You wanted to, or even like masturbate. I shouldn't be so horny that I gotta, or wanting to have sex so bad that I gotta touch myself. It just didn't feel natural with me. In the past when I did do it, it didn't feel natural. It was like I was horny, I was lusting. So I think that gay is a spirit that can be put upon people when doors are open. Transgender is not natural. Like, why are they pushing it in the schools? Why is it being pushed in athletics? Why is it being pushed to our children? It's not natural. And I feel like if you don't say, oh, this transgender is not natural, or you're against them, or you're a bad person, like how can you judge? I'm not judging nobody. I'm just saying what's natural, what's not natural. You were created divinely as you are.
But they say argument is, well, God made me feel this way, like so.
God didn't make you feel that.
Mm-hmm. God not.
That's not God.
That's not. Yeah, God don't do confusion.
Amen.
Hello. Yeah. Confusion don't come from God.
That's a great title. God don't do confusion.
Yes.
It will be a title.
Yeah, on this one, this clip.
Yeah, I'm clipping up. Okay, do you?
But I have nothing against people who are transgender and gay. I just pray that this world rises up to its highest light.
Heels.
Heels.
Show 'em the hoodie. There
Heal
you
the
go.
world.
Heal the world.
The world heals. Yeah.
We'll do one more. So do you feel like in the industry, like, is it okay to be like fake sometimes to like get where you going?
At this stage I'm at, no. I'm not going to jeopardize my authentic self and what I believe in at this point. It's not worth it. I don't feel like it's fame, being the star isn't worth me jeopardizing how I truly feel about myself and me not speaking my truth, or me having the nose in my throat because I ain't speak how I truly feel, or me being around guys who lusting after me, really want to have sex with me, but if I don't have sex with them, I don't get put on. Or if I don't do this, I don't get put on. It's not worth it to me.
Okay, I had another question in my mind. Okay, Coach, do your thing.
I know. I wanted to ask y'all. Did y'all see? You mentioned transgender in athletics. Y'all seen the transgender in women's MMA?
Football, yeah, something, yeah. Isn't that
MMA.
crazy? It's crazy.
They gave this girl a concussion. What?
No, I didn't see that. I saw the football player.
And he's like, yeah, I like to thank everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. Did y'all like that? Yeah. And yeah, like gave this girl a concussion, and then she was supposed to have like another match right after that, and she was supposed to fight the person name is Fox Fallon, I want to say. And Fox Fallon was like, "Oh no, I'm gonna beat you, da da da." But then like that happened, and Fox Fallon was like, "Nah, I'm straight. I'm not fighting this. I'm not fighting him."
Nah, right.
He need to go into MMA then.
If you gonna
Right.
be if y'all gonna do that, do a whole trend. Actually,
A trans league.
Yeah.
If you gonna do that, do
Don't
a trans
mix like
league.
that.
But that's the
Even
whole
the
thing.
bathroom.
We equal.
we're not equal.
We don't, but the women don't
I'm
want to be
really a
equal.
woman. That's the whole fight about.
But the women don't want to be equal to them. So, I mean, I guess the women would have to be like, well, we gonna separate ourselves from the league until y'all do.
Yeah, they had to boycott.
Yeah, let them have it. Since y'all want them to be in it, let them have
That's
it, and we'll have our own league over here where we have our fights. They already got fan bases. I feel like everybody should do that when things aren't going their way in their field. Stop doing it. Go over here and go do. You already have your fan base. LeBron James is LeBron James, whether he with the damn Lakers, the Cavaliers, it don't matter. He's LeBron James.
They be one of them chicks though. That would be the chicks. It'd be
But
such
imagine
a
how
big
many
difference.
imagine how many middlemen you cut out when you run it yourself. Imagine LeBron James starts a league like how Atlanta United and all like DC United.
Y'all
and
would
all
kill
that
him
stuff.
if he did that.
They'll take it over. They'll give you so much money. You'd be like, oh man, I might as well turn it.
Sell
on.
it.
Yeah.
But it's like, I mean, all right. So boom, you run the risk of if they gonna pay you that much, now you probably double, triple, quadruple what you was making under than the first time. So then now that was worth the sale. You got the investment that you wanted, or you don't do it, and then like you said, your life will be at risk type stuff. But it's like I don't know if I would do it because now I'm really running everything. I run my check. I'm getting everybody what they need. We'll do.
But I'm just thinking, if you really got money and you got competition, let's just say you my competition in podcast, and you a guy, I'd be like, I'd make 10 bitches say you raped them, or I'd make some handsome nigga fuck your wife. You can do all this shit when you got money, so it ain't even gonna be worth like trying to fight
Fight for your
against
life.
somebody. I mean, that'd be the last thing. They'll do so much shit to where you'll be like,
No, that's
they'll
what I
kill
mean
your
by
child.
fight for your life. Is like
You feel me?
reputation.
They'll do so much to where like you just like it ain't even gonna be worth it to like stand up against them.
If you think, cut the camera off. I'll tell you something. But like, if you think your life in danger, then you need to protect yourself. You know who they are. You see them, right?
Well, yeah, I guess, yeah, you will know who at the top of it, but
Right. I mean, you know enough people to know who is who. Protect yourself. Is there anything that we haven't asked you that our audience should know before we leave?
So what I do for full time?
Okay.
Okay. So I have my own business. It's called Love and Music ATL.
Nice.
This business promotes positive media, positive arts around the board. We have events, we have showcases. We have a showcase coming up on April 22nd, this Saturday. And we have another one May 27th. And we partnered with Juneteenth ATL for these two showcases. So all the artists that are performing will perform at Juneteenth ATL at Centennial Olympic Park. Juneteenth Festival is June 17th through June 16th through the 18th, through the 17th, 16th, 17th. Yeah, June 16th through the 18th. It's a 3-day festival at Centennial, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Family-oriented Love and Music Showcase is family-oriented for the family to expose yourself and to expose your children to talented people who are pushing an inspiring message.
Who hosting?
I'm hosting it.
Yeah.
For these two, you should come out. But we definitely
No,
host for the for future showcases. But for these two, I'm probably gonna host it.
Okay.
And that's about it. That's my biggest brand, Love Music. The Most High showed me that a vision of how to heal the world, how to unify people is through music and through love. Like when it comes to music, no one cares about your race, gender, religion. It's just a vibe. It's just the frequency that you can get from it. And when those two are combined, something magical happens. So that's
Where's
what
the showcase?
It's in East Point, 2040 Headland Drive, East Point, Georgia. You can get your tickets at loveandmusicatl.com.
Oh, that's right. Big.com energy.
Okay, appreciate you coming. And literally, it's no pressure, man. We'll see y'all next time, and we out.